We wanted to bring puppets into our libraries and explore how they could bridge the worlds of reading and of theatre.
It's nice to come to a library because you're completely surrounded by story.
The libraries are really different to a theatre because there isn't a stage where people are separate and there are expectations. Everyone is on a level and people are used to being in a library and exploring independently and finding things that they're interested in.
And this is something quite unexpected for them to see in a library. So they also have a real joy to it because it feels like, oh, I'm not expecting to see a show just popping up in amongst the bookshelves.
We've been exploring stories from my travels with objects such as this. Look at this. Look at it. A small violin with a veil attached. Yes, there's a story behind this.
The show was basically with no speaking so that the children's imaginations had to fill the gaps of what was happening. So rather than just telling them a story, it was creating the world and an atmosphere and movement and characters their imagination could fill in what was happening.
All the while, the goose was singing.
So a cranky is like a story scroll, so it's a long story on a long piece of paper, but you only see a little bit of it at a time. We've asked the children to choose an animal and then to take that animal as, I guess, the main character of their story and create a landscape and things that happen to that animal along the way for their story scroll.
We encourage them to be as creative as possible so they don't have to be human per se.
I think it's a great opportunity to bring people together in a safe and creative space.
And the people have been absolutely brilliant. They've all come along and got involved.
It's always really inspiring to be around children because they come up with such imaginative stories and brilliant characters and creatures, and it's you never know really what's going to happen. It's fun for us as well to experience that.
Puppets are something quite different to just painting or drawing a picture. They can break down barriers and you can go into your imaginary world, which is something different, and I don't think our children have ever experienced anything like that before. Our catchment area doesn't lend itself to these kind of events, and often our families can't afford it. So making creativity affordable in rural areas, I think, is extremely important.